Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope, live here in the iTex studios. iTex is your cashless business-to-business marketplace. Will get you new business guaranteed. Greg Brom joined today by Jeff Mason, the host of Mason the Morning on 1450 WQKC, 7 to 9 every morning, a big UK ambassador. I'm going to give you the title of ambassador of the UK fan base.
It's better than other titles I have.
Absolutely. I'm giving you probably way too much credit, but that's fine. We're going to talk about the Cards and the Cats, and we want to hear from you right away tonight. 964-2121, the Goomer & Company Buzz line. Give us a call. I want to hear what you thought of the game. Kentucky wins 69-62 in Rupp Arena. And I'm going to take the host prerogative here and talk about my Cards first, Mace. And you know, overall, I thought the game plan was perfect. It's what actually we'd all probably talked about quite a bit during the week. Louisville kind of uglied the game up a little bit. They played zone, and I thought the zone was really, really effective. The press was good. 21 turnovers for Kentucky. The problem is Louisville couldn't get in the press because they couldn't score. And the issue with Louisville was offensive. I mean, this has to be the worst offensive team that Rick Pitino has ever had in coaching. It has to be. Louisville could not shoot. It got to the point Russ Smith is carrying this team offensively, but the inability to score is really the difference in the game. Other than that, the game plan was in place for Louisville to possibly pull the upset.
Well, they put themselves in a position to be able to win. And all week long, weeks leading up to the game, that was the consensus. The only way for them to have a chance is to make it a hot game, make it a very disruptive, take Kentucky out of the flow of their offense. Okay, so what surprised me is very effective in doing it, but then the choppiness of the game really took everyone out of the flow. And as much as the U of L fans want to complain about the disparity in free throw shooting, you know, the foul differential was only a couple fouls difference in the game. So the game was called, you know, very choppy from both perspectives, and to U of L's advantage to take Kentucky out of the flow of their offense.
Well, I have to admit, I know there's been some Louisville fans complain about the officiating, and I've heard actually Kentucky complain about the officiating because, God forbid, the referees actually called some fouls on Kentucky in Rupp Arena. I mean, I actually, even though Louisville got the worst end of I think they had more guys in foul trouble, maybe got the worst end of some of the foul calls or the totals. I was actually pleased that the refs called any fouls on Kentucky.
Sure.
I really was. And you saw the difference when Louisville was able to get Davis on the bench versus when Davis was in the game, the difference in how Louisville was able to hang tight. But, you know, the fouls, did they cost Louisville the game? I don't think so. There were a couple questionable ones. I really hope that we have that on tape. The Siva and Lamb go for the ball at the same time, which Mace, you cannot say that was a foul on Peyton Siva. Siva had two hands on the ball. It would have been Lamb's fifth. It was Siva's fourth. Siva has two hands on the ball, and the ball was a free-for-all. Each one of them were about equal distance away from it, and Siva had the ball.
Yeah, you'd wonder how a psychiatrist would break this down, because if you look at it from Kentucky perspective, it clearly is a foul on Siva. But if you look at it from U of L perspective, it is clearly a foul on Kentucky. But
how about an objective perspective?
Well, I think Clark Kellogg gave that to you when he made the statement. Siva is lunging towards the ball. Lamb is there first, and to Clark Kellogg's point, you know, that's a foul on Siva getting there late.
Is the guy there first? Isn't the guy there first the guy who actually puts two hands on it? That would be the guy there first, in my opinion, and that was Peyton Siva. But we got a caller with us right now, and let's get the breakdown from our man, Handsome Jimmy.
I got to tell you something. You got Mace there beside you. Damn for your bad luck tonight, Greg. I mean, but Mace, you got to win, buddy. But it was right there to take it. We just couldn't make the shots. There's no doubt when it was tied 40-40. Peyton Siva threw up an air ball from 15. Greg, you know I'm a Peyton guy, but I don't know what's wrong with him right now. The layup, when he dished it off to Tig, and the first, when he just lay it in, maybe get fouled. And mid-court driven the ball with his foot. I mean, he was, 2 for 14. Real disappointed in Peyton's play, because it was right there to take, man. Right there to take, and we just couldn't get him. And but number 25's got to get healthy. And I believe, I know it's not going to happen in the NCAA tournament, but Wayne Blackshear is a big difference, because it's the worst scoring Louisville team I've ever saw in my life. ever, Greg and Mace, ever, because we can't score. Our defense is off the charts. Make baskets, press, because Kentucky can't have no press. They ain't going to run into a press like this all year. It helped them tremendously. If we score, I really would win it straight up if we could put the ball in the bucket. Wide open jump shots, they couldn't make them.
Handsome, Handsome, I know you're a big Rick Pitino fan. I know you love him till the end. Why isn't he running any play set offense to create openings for Cal Currick? I mean, what was Cal Currick doing over there in the corner? Was he hitting on girls?
Witness protection.
I mean, was he hitting on
I think he's in witness
cheerleaders?
protection a little bit. I'm with you on that
Run a
because
play for him.
it looked like Louisville's offensive set consisted basically of high pick and roll, and there was never any. I mean, if you want to get a guy an open jump shot, why don't you remember Steve Alford, the old Indiana days? You run him off multiple screens,
picks,
maybe get an open
screens.
shot every now and then. I agree. There needs to be more variety in the offense.
Well, and especially with you do have such a prolific scorer in Russ Smith. I mean, the kid did impress me. You know, even designing, but everything they were trying to do was Siva driving to the lane or Smith driving to the lane, and then trying to create that foul situation with Davis. But if that doesn't occur, kick it out to the corner.
I tell you what, and I'm with Handsome on Peyton Siva. He still seems a bit out of control. I mean, there's a bit of a panic button in certain situations, and he went in on the breakaway. And why not go up challenge? I mean, you actually had a layup challenge Gilchrist on that layup. He throws it to Kentucky, just hands it to Kentucky,
Right.
turns around, looked like a panic situation, dribbled off his foot. But when he drives the lane, there's a difference I notice when he drives the lane versus when Russ Smith drives the lane. Peyton takes off way too soon, and it's almost easy to time his shot to block. I mean, he was teeing it up for Davis to swatted it with his elbow. Russ goes in there. He'll actually lean in, create some contact, find a way to get a shot up to the back. It's just a different way that they penetrate.
I thought Siva made himself small. I mean, he is small, you know, by stature anyway, but I thought he made himself small when he drove to the lane. As you said, he's not getting to the rim.
Yeah.
He's putting
Take
that
one more
shot
dribble.
off, you know, 5 feet from the rim, and Davis is just going to, I mean, he was just making that look silly.
All right, let's go to Troy. Our Goomer & Company Buzzline, 964-2121. Troy is with us.
Hey, how you doing, Greg? Want to wish you a happy New Year.
You too, buddy.
Talking about the game, I agree with y'all on that offense. I'm a diehard Louisville fan, but I'm starting to get a little tired of this pick and roll offense. It's a constant thing, and this team is not a good shooting team. And I think Kentucky's got they do have a lot of talent. Louisville's got a lot of talent. But after watching this game yesterday, and especially on our side of things, the Louisville side of things, to win a national championship, you have to defend good, you have to rebound, you have to shoot free throws, and you have to have a point guard that can shoot the three-point shot, and neither one of these teams have that. And I'll let you comment on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mace, one thing is a point, neither team has that, because the weakest link for you guys, you would have to probably say, is Marcus Teague at this point. And let me ask you, watching you guys, I pretty much thought you were a lock, and we'll probably talk more about this after the break for the Final Four. After watching Kentucky's performance yesterday, are you more sure or less sure that they're a Final Four lock?
Well, there's nothing in that game yesterday that tells me we're not capable of still being, you know.
But are you as confident?
There's nothing in that game that made me less confident about getting there. I think there are things that we have to improve on. I think that's a process. But the reality is, Vegas had it at a 13-point game. And with 10.4 seconds, it was 13. A couple of scrap threes at the end, made it 7. Now,
I'll tell you what, it was competitive, though, the entire way. Louisville, that's the best I think Louisville's played Kentucky in the last 3 years since Cal's got
Well,
there.
as a Kentucky fan, I never had any concern that we were out of that game or didn't have, so comfortably, 5 minutes to play, we're up, 9, 10 points. What else do we need to, at that point, yes, do we need better play from our point guard? Absolutely. Do we need more consistency from Terrence Jones? Absolutely. And we need post moves from Anthony Davis, no question. It's a long season.
All right, we'll talk more about it, and we'll take your calls. The Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope.
Pimp out your ride at Smart Shoppers, 4200 Produce Road. That's Smart Shoppers, 4200 Produce Road to pimp out your ride. They are open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They are the largest car audio dealer in the city of Louisville. No better place for paint or body work in the city than Smart Shoppers. You need rims, stereos, amps, paint, anything you need. Call 964-6652 or go to smartshoppers.com. That's Smart Shoppers, 964-6652.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
At Glamour Shots Professional Photography Studio, we bring out the true beauty that is you. Men, women, children, teens, even pets. Our photo sessions will always have you looking your best. Your photo session will include our airbrush makeover, hairstyling, 2 to 3 wardrobe changes, and our exclusive Glamour Touch retouching. From business to lingerie, we have a package that's right for you. Call and schedule your appointment today, 502-499-9949. Glamour Shots, 9158 Taylorsville Road.
We're gonna rock your world, not your wallet. Rally's Cha-Ching! Our smoky sausage, grilled plump and juicy, topped with mustard on a toasted bun, just $1. Chipotle barbecue bacon cheeseburger or our mushroom Swiss. Big Rally's taste for just $1. Now that's Cha-Ching! Rally's, feast on.
This limited time offer is a real winner, so make sure you score one today.
Hey, welcome back to the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope. This segment brought to you by LouisvilleBigDeals.com. LouisvilleBigDeals.com. Half price restaurants, entertainment, golf. Visit them before you head out. Greg Brom along with Jeff Mason. We're talking Cards and Cats. Cats win 69-62. We got full phone lines. Our number, 964-2121. We'll get to some of these callers. You call in, we'll get to you as well. Mike, you're up.
Hey, how's it going tonight, guys?
Doing good.
Good. Listen, I just want to make a couple comments. I'm a big UK fan. I was at the ball game yesterday, and it's pretty evident to me that any time the UK is going to be a dominant team between the two like they have been in the last couple of years, this is the way we're going to have to get used to Rick Pitino coming in and playing because, I knew it was going to be a karate chop game before the game ever started. He just is playing that way to keep them getting blown out, and that's the way I look to see him play every year as long as we're the dominant team between the two. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think there's any surprise that, he had to resort to that from just a player matchup. And there's no way that they can match up with Kentucky's players. So he's got to come up with some kind of gimmick, and that has been, whether it's
I don't know if it's a gimmick.
It's not a gimmick, but that's his style.
Legitimate strategy.
It's a legitimate strategy, but to the point of the caller is that there's no other way they're going to be in that game unless they break it up that way. So there is a dramatic difference in talent between the players at UK. And why is that? Why is there such a difference in that level of talent?
And that's a bigger picture question as well. Because you look at the game, but I think Rick has squeezed as much as he can out of the guys he has. But Louisville, why doesn't Louisville have a T. Will or a Earl Clark every single year? And it looks like right now, and we got guys hurt. I'd take Mike Mara. I know a lot of people don't like Mike Mara. Could we have used another shooter?
Absolutely.
Mike Mara, exactly.
Yep.
I mean, there's guys that are in the mix that aren't available right now. But that's a bigger question is how come the talent disparity is there? Which we'll talk about, I'm sure, a lot on our radio shows.
And you look at Kyle Kirk, a great player. He's contributed well, but he's a walk-on. No one expected him to contribute.
Russ Smith, our leading scorer, is a guy.
No one was looking at him, and now he's contributing. Why aren't the people that you were really after, why aren't they contributing at the high level? And some of these players who are role players, by all accounts. And listen, you need role players on your team. You just don't need those role players to be the stars.
That's a good question, and the role players seem to be carrying the team, at least offensively right now. Jeff, you're up.
Hey, how's it going? Long-time Cardinals fan. Hey, everybody's talking about the free throw differentials and all that. I think what really hurt us was our inability to keep them guys off the offensive glass. It was just glaring. I mean, are we really that bad a rebounding team, or was it just the guys just seemed like they was flat-footed a lot of times? One UK player go up between three Louisville guys, and he'd get the rebound every time. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I agree with that. There was 3 separate occasions where Kentucky had 4 offensive rebounds. And, they're picking up loose balls, picking up scrap balls. Most of the people picking up those scrap balls are Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Yeah, I mean, 19
every
rebounds.
Loose ball, every loose rebound, every key critical play where you had to come up with the ball. It seemed like he was the guy to come up with it.
I tell you, one problem yesterday was that the power forward position for Louisville was in foul trouble the entire game. You got nothing from a position that you thought you had improved on from last year because of the foul situation. And you're right, it looked like Louisville's got to get all the 50-50 balls to win in Rupp Arena. They got all the 50-50 balls. They didn't get them all. They did a good job of playing scrappy. I thought the press was great, the zone was great, but you can't give the second shots. You're right about that.
And how many times did U of L take one shot, UK rebound? I mean, it was, a long desperation shot. Kentucky gets the rebound, and they're off and running.
All right, big brother, thanks for calling.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Not much, man. I wanted to call in and talk about the game. If you go back 2 years ago, that game in Rupp Arena, it was certainly no offensive clinic either. I mean, that game was pretty ugly from an offensive standpoint, and then in the second half, the two teams settled down, and we actually got to see a little bit of offense, but the refs didn't call the game like they did 2 years ago. And I just think, in my opinion, and I told Handsome Jimmy this, when the referees are calling a game like that, the coaches see that, the players sense that, and they tighten up, man. They can't play and be themselves out there on the court when they know they get timid. And so when they get like that, you're going to have an ugly offensive game. Did I think Louisville has struggled all year offensively? Yeah, but are they that bad? No. And neither's Kentucky. And I think the reason you saw it yesterday was because of the referees. And, if you look at it, had Kentucky hit the free throws like they had all year, Louisville might have won yesterday. I mean, really, that played into Louisville's favor because Kentucky's been awful from the free throw line all year long.
Well, Rick admitted as much. Rick admitted that, the concentration was to try to draw fouls against Davis and conversely go ahead and put him on the line because he's not a great free throw shooter.
Well, he sure was yesterday. I mean, when he has 12 of 13 free throws, and that's your center. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge contribution. He got 18 in the second half. I mean, the reason they called it so tight this year, I think, was because of what happened 2 years ago. I mean, I think that's the reason. And I'm not blaming the fouls because they did call some on Kentucky at least. They did at least. It was more even than I ever thought it would be in Rupp Arena. Now, Louisville had 5 guys with 4 or more fouls, and all the big guys were in trouble. But you're right. It makes for an ugly game, but that was the recipe for Louisville to have a chance to win. Louisville was a lot closer than I think even you would have thought they were going to be. When they tied it at 40, Mace, in the second half, and then they had a couple of chances to take the lead. I know you weren't feeling too safe.
I didn't. There was never a sense that we were not in control. Never a sense that I felt that U of L had the firepower to put us in a bad situation. I just didn't think they had it offensively. I thought our defense would open up our offense and create.
I'll tell you, before I go to Jason, too, who's on the line, I mean, I want to go back to this. Yeah. You're saying you don't feel any less sure about your team as a Final Four lock. Wasn't that just the perfect formula to stymie your team? Look, Teague, 1 for 8. Lamb, 1 for 7. Jones, 1 for 9 shooting. Miller, 8 turnovers, and really not even a factor. It was left to, if Kidd-Gilchrist didn't play out of his mind, or maybe it's not out of his mind, it's out of most people's mind. I mean, Louisville has a real legit shot to win.
Well, we shot 29% for the game, a horrible shooting night.
Good defense.
Great defense, and that's the trademark of John Calipari's teams. I mean, great defensive teams. And when you look at it, we just played the 4th-ranked team in the country. And again, we were up 13 with 10.4 seconds left. The game was never really in doubt. Now, did we play our best game? No, but despite the fact we didn't play our best game, we just ran the 4th-ranked team in the country out of the game.
Now you say they're the 4th-ranked team.
Well,
for about 3 months you said they don't deserve that.
They were ranked.
Okay, Jason, you're up.
Okay.
Hey, okay, Jason. Buddy, what you got?
Was just, wanting to talk about the foul trouble here in the first half. Davis, to me, being on the bench in the first half made a lot of difference as far as the rebounding in the Gilchrist situation.
You out-rebounded us by 26. I don't know if you're going to done much.
Yeah, that was really the biggest margin
I tell you what, though, and Davis did play, when he was in there, was dominant. Gorgie played good. I'd say Russ Smith and Gorgie played good for Louisville. Other than that, I don't know if anybody actually played good. I mean, Gorgie on defense, he had 6 blocks, and I've never seen against Kentucky where Kentucky penetrates and there was one force that made them hesitate, and Gorgie was able to do that.
Well, you say Gorgie played a great game. He had 5 rebounds, 4 points. Now, Anthony Davis was out of the game.
He was only inside
Anthony Davis was out of the game most of the first half. And Gorgie didn't do anything offensively during that period that he was out. Kyle Wiltshire was able to give quality minutes.
Anthony did nothing when Gorgie was in the game, really, not much.
Well, but so my opinion is he didn't have a great game. He was 4 points, 5 rebounds.
He really had a good game.
Okay, well, I disagree with
6 blocks against that. He was the only guy inside that Louisville had, and he took on the whole team. Kentucky's inside force, 6 blocks. I thought he did pretty good. All right. Let's take a break right now. We'll come back in a moment. We'll take more of your calls in our last segment, the Sunday Sports Buzz, presented by Sam Swope.
It's their 40th anniversary, and Stewart's Pawn Shop is celebrating at both downtown locations. Save every day on jewelry, musical instruments, televisions, electronics, sporting goods, and so much more. No need to shop at a jewelry store. You'll find lower than wholesale prices on a large selection of gold chains and rings. And Stewart's pays top dollar for your gold jewelry.
Come help us celebrate and save every day.
Get 50% off diamond and color stone rings.
Hablamos español.
Stewart's has 2 locations to serve you.
Goomer & Company Jewelry is proud to celebrate our 40th anniversary.
Hello, I'm Bruce Goomer, founder and owner of Goomer & Company. This is a family business, and we'd like to thank you for choosing Goomer & Company. My family and I look forward to being your jewelry store for years to come.
For over 40 years, we've been the largest gold, silver, and diamond dealer in the area.
Come see us on Hurstburn Parkway or visit GoomerJewelry.com and experience the Goomer difference.
Hi, I'm Jim Weeks. At MaxCare, no project is too big. We have the capabilities to handle the smallest residential project to the largest commercial undertaking. We even clean big houses like this one. And everyone has been abuzz about our amazing 4 areas for $99 special. We want to let everyone know that MaxCare also cleans upholstery, ceramic tile, and air ducts. We also install and refinish hardwood floors dust-free. MaxCare, locally owned and family operated. Give us a call, 636-4629.
The sun used to make our outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable we couldn't use it.
But then we discovered the Sunsetter retractable awning.
It provides instant protection from the sun's harmful rays.
It keeps our patio about 20 degrees cooler.
Now you can get your Sunsetter for as little as $499 when you call now to get this $200 discount certificate and free awning idea kit.
Call now for your free awning idea kit and $200 discount certificate.
Call 1-800-309-5405.
What do you like about the Red and Blue Review?
I like it because we're a split household, and it tells me and my husband both all of the great things about our team.
I'm a real big Kentucky fan, but I like to keep up with Louisville stuff, too.
You get to see the pros and cons. They show the good, they show the bad. They show the U of L, which is the good, and they show the UK, which is the bad. I absolutely love watching the Red and Blue Review.
Callers are lighting it up tonight, unlike the Cards shooting performance yesterday. Really didn't light up the scoreboard, but tough, gritty game. They go down 69-62. Greg Brom here with Jeff Mason. He's the host of Mason in the Morning, 7 to 9 weekdays on 1450 WQKC, and also listen to my show in the afternoons, 5 to 6 on the same station. And we had a great time yesterday, Mace, at Saints. Want to throw a shout out to those guys who hosted us. We had a great time. Great place to watch a game.
They've got the audio in each of the different segments and different games. You can listen to a UK game going on at the same time, U of L game. Great food, great beer.
Yeah, we had a super time yesterday, and we've got a lot of callers right now. Alan, you're up.
Yeah, Greg, I'm a big Cards fan, but I do want to say, yes, the game yesterday wasn't anything that you'd like to put out on paper and show your guys or put on film and educate them on how to play the game of basketball. But what I would like to commend both teams for, because it could have very easily gotten this way, is letting their cooler heads prevail. I think the refereeing was crap. I think it could have been another Xavier Cincinnati debacle real easy. And as far as that part of the ball game, the offense and the game itself, no, was either side I don't think was much. But I think I will give them this much credit. They were in a situation like that. Cooler heads prevailed, and thank God it was the ball players, because the refs didn't do much about it.
Well, hey, thanks, Alan. I did think the players and the coaches were classy in how they handled the game itself and the pre- and post-game. Well, and the referees, I think they were trying to prevent an ugliness to happen. That's why they called it so tight.
Well, and there was a couple of very physical plays where, players went falling down and into the stands, and I noticed a couple times whether it be a UK player helping a U of L guy up or vice versa, that was going on.
All right, Troy, you're up.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I think we played the worst game. I'm a Cards fan, of course, but I think we played one of the worst games we could have played, and we still only got beat by 7.
That's encouraging. I agree with you a little bit on that, Troy.
And your friend there, he keeps saying 13 points, 10 seconds. Well, surely to God, he's not trying to say that was a 13-point game.
He is probably trying to say it, but anybody else probably reasonable would not. You think it was a 13-point game, Mace?
With 10.4 seconds left, the game was 13.
We still played. We continue to play last.
Absolutely. So Russ Smith throws up a prayer bank shot from the 3, and then there's a loose ball that goes out of bounds. Kentucky's not guarding him at the end. They score another 3. So yeah, you got beat by. You got beat by 7. It's not a moral victory. It just as easily was 13. Yeah. I don't think it was that close from Kentucky.
I think we had a good game plan in Louisville, but we didn't really play well enough to win. We didn't play well enough. All right, Rob, you're up.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
All right, bud.
My big thing is Russ Smith. I don't think he's as good as everybody makes him out to be. Look at him. He was 10 for 20 on field goals. I can go out there and shoot 50% all day.
Well, if you can, we'll sign you up. We'll sign you up right now. I would have to cut you off right there because 10 for 20, 30 points. Hey, Russ has proven his worth. I don't think you can even argue with it now.
And he's the only guy making the tough shots. He's the only guy that stepped up and made the tough shots and attacked, and scored from inside and from 3 and created a lot of defense.
He didn't look scared at all or intimidated. Okay, real quick, Jason, we got a few seconds left.
Okay, I just want to say something for the Cats fans. That game was never in doubt for us.
I agree.
We had control of the whole game, the whole time.
We were in control, but hey, we got 5 seconds. Hey, thanks for calling, everybody. Join us on the radio station, and we'll see you next week on the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope.